Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tumeva Mada Cha Pida Tumeva Tumeva Bandhuscha Sakha Tumeva Tumeva Vidya Dravinam Tumeva Tumeva Sarvam Amriteshwari Ma Tumeva Sarvam Amriteshwari Ma Tumeva Sarvam Amriteshwari Ma. Om Amriteshwari Namah. We'll begin with a short meditation. Kindly sit straight and make sure your vertebral column, spinal column is erect. Sit in a comfortable posture and slowly close your eyes. Try to observe your breathing process. Watch every inhalation and exhalation that occurs through your body. As you keep observing, also feel the relaxation that occurs naturally. Feel complete relaxation, letting go of all your tensions and worries. And now we'll chant Om 3 times. As we chant Om, imagine the sound or the vibration of Om rising from your navel area and not from your throat. Imagine the sound, vibrations going up along your spine, upwards, cleansing your body, your mind, and as it goes into the atmosphere, cleansing the atmosphere as well. Now kindly take a deep breath. Now feel the reverberations of Om, each and every part of your body. Once again, bring your awareness on your breathing. Now as you breathe in, chant the mantra, the syllable Ma, silently along with your in-breath. And when you breathe out, exhale, chant Om. Ma when you inhale, and Om when you exhale. Ma is a representation of divine love, and Om of divine light. You need not imagine love and light. You just feel your heart being filled with that supreme love and light. Continue like this for some time. Slowly and slowly the reverberations of Ma and Om become more and more subtle. And just feel the vibrations. Now feel your heart opening up just as a beautiful flower bud opens up into a fragrant flower that gives beauty and fragrance to everyone. Feel the love, feel the light in your heart. Imagine your heart being filled with that divine love and divine light, filling you with peace, with bliss, with love, with light, and with compassion. Now kindly imagine a ray of light going out from your heart to all the beings in this world. And as the light falls on each and every one of them, visualize they also become more loving, more peaceful, more content, more blissful, and more compassionate. And while imagining so, we'll chant the Loka Samasta prayer 9 times. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhyayamo Dhavalavagundhanavatim Tejomayim Nashtikim Snigdha Pangavilokinim Bhagavatim Mandasmidashrimukim Valsalyamritavarshinim Sumathuram Sankirtanalapinim Shamangim Madhusikta Suktim Amritanandatmikam Ishwarim Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Parambaram Sruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Logashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhadarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavandau Punapunaha Ishwarau Guru Ragmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagini Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Om Amriteshwarye Namaha. In the last session, we saw that how Lord Rama had crossed the bridge and regained Sita Devi, and he came back to Ayodhya. We also saw how he was received in Ayodhya. Also, there were some of the stories which I had been saying earlier. There has been in the life of Lord Rama, then Sita Devi was sent to exile, where she had to the forest where she lived in the ashram of Valmiki, where she had two children, Lava and Kusha. And so the question was asked by Parikshit to Sri Shuka, Rishi Sukha. And the Raja asked, that is Parikshit asked, how did the worshipful Rama spend his life? How did he deal with his brothers who were his own parts? How did his brothers, subjects and citizens in turn deal with that divine personage? So it is a natural question, when everybody is gone, then how Lord Rama was left with his brothers. So he's asking this question, how did he live the rest of his life? So Shuka replied, after he ascended the throne, he sent his brothers on Digvijaya, or expeditions for the establishment of his supremacy over all the surrounding countries. And he went with followers all over his kingdom, enabling all his subjects to have a sight of his auspicious form. He saw the city with its roads moistened by fragrant water and the ichor of elephants in rut, gazing at him like an inebriated woman, as it were at its master's return after a lapse of 14 years. So, you're saying that when after he came back and he ascended on the throne, he sent his brothers on Digvijaya, which is this kind of to establish his supremacy over all the surrounding countries. And also he went with his followers all over his kingdom, so that his subjects could see his auspicious form. You remember earlier they were saying that in the Falastuti, that is how the effect of seeing Lord Rama, that whoever saw him, whoever touched him, who spoke to him, they all reached the height which the yogis would reach. So, which means they reached realization, attained realization. And so he was, in one sense, he was enabling this so that his subjects would, or as many people would see him and get the blessings of his form. And he saw the city with its roads moistened by fragrant water. So that is, some of the roads were had fragrant water in it, and then the ichor of the elephants in rut, so which means the when the elephants, like during their certain months, the fluid comes out of their forehead, and so that's where they go really crazy when at that moment. So he was saying, like, he saw that also, the two extremes, gazing at him like an inebriated woman. So that's the description, as it were, at its master's on his return after a lapse of 14 years. And he went around the city seeing its terraced houses, gate towers, assembly halls, and places of worship covered with golden domes and banners, as well as other places decorated with arecanut palms, fruit-laden banana plants, flags of superior cloth, mirrors, draperies, and garlands. So he saw all these scenes. So also the arecanut is the betel nut, which they put in the pan. When they chew the pan, they put the betel nut. So then also different trees like the banana plants and all these things. Wherever he went, the citizens approached him with presents and glorified him, saying, "O Lord, deign to protect this earth which thou didst once save in thy incarnation as the cosmic boar." So they recognized him as Lord Vishnu. So once in the earlier avatars, that first avatar, that is a second avatar, Malsya Kurma, Varaha, the third one. And the third one, he saved the earth. So similarly, they are besieging him to save the earth once again. And seeing their Lord and Master come after a long time, the people, both men and women, left their homes and ascended balconies on the wayside houses and looked at that lotus-eyed one from there with unsatiated looks and showered flowers on him. Afterwards, he entered the palace of his ancestors, which had treasuries with countless number of gems and numerous fittings and furniture of inestimable value. It had doorways of coral, lines of pillars made of cat's eye, that is known as Vaiduria, and clean floors of emeralds and shining walls studded with crystals. It was decorated with garlands of many kinds, draperies, shining gems, pearl strings, and all kinds of attractive and enjoyable objects. The inside of the palace was well lighted and filled with the fragrance of incense, and was occupied by celestial-like and well-bedecked men and women who by their beauty were an ornament to the very ornaments they wore. So you can just see the description of the whole palace and how rich and how prosperous that kingdom was. It's coming back, when India was invaded by the foreign armies many a times. It was said that India had so much of wealth, one of the things. And there was, as was said here, there was diamonds, jewels, gold, and everything. And people throughout the different centuries, people from the neighboring countries as well as far away countries have come and looted. And they have taken all the wealth from India. Yesterday when somebody was saying that in one of the languages, Japanese as well as Chinese, the name for India was like heaven, similar to heaven, because they considered that as like India to be like heavenly, like with so much of wealth, and not only that, not only material but also the spiritual wealth. So Rama, who was the greatest among the self-controlled ones, lived happily in that palace with Sita, who was full of love for him, and for whom he was in turn full of love. Worshipped by all, he lived there for several hundred years, having such enjoyments of life as permitted by dharma. So he, of course, they're saying about Sita Devi, but Sita Devi lived only for a few years with him, after which, towards the end of her life also, again she was accused, and where she took this vow that if she was pure, let me go into the earth, and where she came from, and the earth split, and it said that Sita Devi went inside the earth. The other thing is also, towards the end of his life, Lord Rama did as I was saying earlier, did the Jala Samadhi, the Samadhi in where he walked into the river as just lying on the water. He left his body, and his body was just floating in the Sarayu river. And so that was how he left his body also. I think I've discussed this earlier also, right? Where they do the Jala Samadhi, and yogis, they have the capacity. They just lie in the, the asana, and then they just leave the body, and the body just goes by itself. They are gone. So now, the talk about Lord Rama's successors, his son, Kusha. Lava and Kusha were the sons. And so they are talking about how Rama's sons and the whole lineage. So I'll just start with a little bit, but then there's all names. So I'll just skip some of that. So Rama's son Kusha had Aditi as his son. He had Nishada, and he Nabha, he Pundarika, and he Chema Dhanwa. And it goes like this. And so it goes just like that. Going on to the, so he was saying that coming to this, to the whole area, and he was saying that, so he was saying the last one was Brihad Bala, and Brihad Bala was slain in the battle by your father, that is Abhimanyu. So Parikshit's father, who's the son of Arjuna, Abhimanyu, slayed the last one, which was Brihad Bala. So that was the end of the solar dynasty, the Raghuvamsha, or the Surya Vamsha. These are the past rulers of solar dynasty. Now here the future kings. Brihad Bala will have a son, Brihad Dharana, and his son will be Urukriya. His son, So he'll go like this. And so he was saying that all these people, and it will, the line of, so the finally Sumitra is the last of this dynasty. And dynasty. All these are the line of Brihatbala. The line of Ikshvaku ends with Sumitra. For with this king, the dynasty will perish in the age of Kali. So that's how it will perish. And now, we are coming to chapter 13 of the Skanda 9. And so here, Sri Shuka said, Nimi, the son of Ikshvaku, chose Vasishta as his sacrificial priest, where he started performance of his satra. Vasishta, however, told him, I have already been chosen as sacrificial priest by Indra. I shall finish that duty and come. Please wait until then. And so it's in the lineage of who was again the solar dynasty. He was one of the Ikshvaku's son, Nimi. And Nimi was conducting a sacrifice, but Vasishta told him that he should wait till he finishes his other sacrifice. But being a wise and self-controlled man, Nimi knew that the duration of life is very uncertain. So he started the sacrifice. Even before the preceptor, Vasishta's return, with the help of some other sacrificial priests. Returning after Indra's yajna, the preceptor, that is Vasishta, came to know of the audacious act of his disciple in contravening his behest. He therefore cursed him, saying, You who arrogantly consider yourself to be so learned, may your body fall down dead. So, Nimi started the sacrifice. So when Vasishta came back, he learned that he had started his sacrifice. So he was so angry that he cursed him, saying that, may your body fall down dead. Your Atma, that your soul cannot die, but your body can die. So Nimi also pronounced a counter curse on the preceptor, who had cursed him, contrary to the principles of dharma. And why did Nimi do this? Because he knew that Vasishta can come back anytime, maybe in the next birth or 3 births later. So he didn't want to wait. That's the whole point. He just wanted to finish the sacrifice as long as his life was there. So he started it. So that's why he did it. But Vasishta did not understand that the essence of time is important. So what happened? Nimi also cursed him, saying that, may you, out of greed, have forgotten dharma, also fall down dead. So each of them cursed one another, saying that you fall dead. Saying so, Nimi, who was a knower of the self, abandoned his body. So it's not he's dying, he just abandoned his body. So the curse was like this. And so Vasishta was also realized. Both of them were realized. And so what happened was they were just getting out of their body, that present body. So it was in fact not a curse, it was just a game to just get out of the body. So Vasishta also got out of the body, and Nimi also get out of his body. And Vasishta, leaving the present body, was born as a son to Mitra and Varuna by Urvashi. Urvashi is a celestial dancer. So Vasishta was born to Urvashi. Whereas the sages preserved the body of Nimi by embalming it in oil made fragrant with medications. In the presence of the embalmed body, they continued the sacrifice, and at the close of it said to the devas present, if you are powerful And if you are pleased with the sacrifice, may the body of King Nimi become alive. And when the Devas granted this prayer, Nimi, disembodied, said, I don't need this imprisonment in the body anymore. Wise ones do not decide to have a body, knowing that they will have to leave it also. They therefore adore the feet of Hari, by whose adoration they get freedom from the cycle of births and deaths. So, Nimi was very smart. And he was lying down dead. And so, as the sacrifice was going on, and at the end of the sacrifice, when the priests asked the Devas, saying that if you are really pleased, because they were giving the sacrifice to the Devas, to the subtle beings. And so when they called upon the subtle beings and asked them, if you are really happy, just let him come back to life. But the soul of Nimi said, no, I don't want to enter that body. Please I don't want any of that body. Because if you are really wise, you don't enter into a human body. And so, why? Because you have to leave it any time. Sometime or any time. So, what they do, they therefore adore the feet of Hari, whose adoration they get freedom from the cycle of births and deaths. So that's what he says. And so the Devas thereupon said, even without anybody, may you reside on the eyelids of living beings. Residing there, he is supposed to function as the opening and the closing of the eyelids of creatures when they wink. So they blessed him to be in the eyelids of human beings or living beings, where they close and open the eyelids. Now, Nimi is gone. So they don't have a king. We have to understand this. So Nimi said, I cannot enter the body. He said goodbye, and he left. I don't want to be the king also. So afraid of the anarchy among men, the sages churned the body of Nimi, and a child was born by that process. He came to be known by 3 names because of his unusual birth. He was known as Janaka. As he was born of one who had abandoned his body, he got the name Vaideha. And as his birth took place by Mathana, that is churning, he came to be known as Mithila. It was he who founded the city of Mithila. So this is King Janaka, the father of Sita Devi. So they churned the body of Nimi, and from there, they created this child, which was born out of this process. And don't ask me how to do it. I don't know how to do. It's not like churning, the yogurt and getting butter out of it. The churning is done in a particular manner, and not only that, it's not physical, it's mental. And what happened was, King Janaka was born out of that. So he did not take a birth like an ordinary human being. And that's why he was known as Janaka. That is one who was born without any cause. And he was born of one who had abandoned his body. So, because Nimi had abandoned his body, so he was known as Vaideha. Vaideha means without body. And then birth took place in Mathana, churning, that is the churning. And so he was known as Mithila. That's the 3 names he was known as. So he founded the city of Mithila. And now his son was Udavashu, and now it goes the names of different kings and all these things, which we don't want to hear. And finally, we can say this, they said, "O king, these kings of Mithila were versed in the knowledge of the Atman, the self, and remained free from attachments even while living as householders, owing to the grace of great yoga teachers like Yajnanavalkya." So as you know the story of Janaka, King Janaka. King Janaka was a householder and he was a king also. So he had his guru, whose name was Ashtavakra, who bestowed realization on him. And the story is also very beautiful because King Janaka always wanted realization as he was climbing on his horse, and with one feet on the earth, the other feet upon the air, and he was challenging all the great sages in his country, Mithila, saying that if anybody can give me realization, come forth. If you cannot give me realization, I will chop your head. So that's what he was challenging everybody. And of course, nobody came forth. And finally, it was Ashtavakra. That is, Ashtavakra means who had 8 deformations in his body. And so when he walked into the Janaka's court, everybody started making fun of him. So Ashtavakra laughed at this, and so when King Janaka asked him, "Why are you laughing?" So, he said, "I didn't know your court was filled with fools, idiots." So then he gave this knowledge of the self to King Janaka, and as the same thing as he wanted, as he was climbing on the horse with one foot on the earth, the other foot about to be kept on the horse, he attained realization. And in fact, it was Shuka. Shuka was sent by Lord Vyasa to Janaka. Shuka was already realized, but he did not have the realization of his realization. Because as you know, when the father says something to the son, the son doesn't take it seriously. So he has to send him to another teacher. So Vyasa sends him to Janaka, knowing that he was a great realized master. And then Shuka was having this doubt in his mind that how is King Janaka a realized master? Because he saw King Janaka sitting in a beautiful palace in the midst of all the palms and everything, beautiful gems, jewels and all these things, and young women fanning him from the side. Suddenly he had this doubt, how is King Janaka realized? And King Janaka could immediately read the mind. And so, first of all, he made Shuka wait for 3 days. And then, finally, he called him in. And King Shuka was famed just to have a loincloth. And he had one extra loincloth. That's the 2 things he had. Nothing else. He carried just 2 loincloths. And so whenever he used to go to take a bath, he will take off the old one, wash it, and wear the new one. So, and hang it in the line to get it dry. So, as you know the story goes like, as King Janaka invited him to take a bath in the palace river. As they were in the river, the King Janaka's soldiers came running, telling him that his kitchen was on fire. And a few minutes later, then people came running saying that his living room is on fire, then his bedroom is on fire. And so finally what happened was the fire came blazing to such a point that it started almost touching Sage Shuka's loincloth. Suddenly he jumped out of the water to save the loincloth. So he called Shuka, come back. And he said,
look, my whole palace is burning. And I'm not worried about it. And your loin cloth is going to get burnt, and you're worried about that. So that's how, Shuka knows that King Janaka was a great master. And he created this illusion. Actually, it was nothing but an illusion that he created. And so, Shuka, that's how Shuka also learned under King Janaka and became realized. And now we are looking at the lunar dynasty, that is the Chandra. So Chandra Vamshis, it's called the lunar dynasty. And Sri Shuka said, "O king, now hear about the holy lunar dynasty. In the dynasty was born king of holy fame like the Aila, otherwise known as Pururuvas. From the navel lotus of the 1,000-headed cosmic being, that is Lord Vishnu, Brahma was born. And to him was born Atri, a sage equal to his father in meritorious qualities. From the tears of bliss that flowed from Atri's eyes was born Soma, which is the moon deity, who is the nature of nectar, Amrita. And Brahma made him the master of Brahmanas, herbage, and the stars. Conquering all three worlds, he performed several Rajasuyas, that is sacrifices. And out of his inordinate arrogance, he abducted Brihaspati's wife Tara. And Brihaspati was, as you know, the teacher, the guru of the Devas. So this Soma, that is the moon deity, is the son of, you can see the sage Atri in that sense, because he was, as you know, the lineage is like this: Vishnu, from Vishnu's navel came Brahma, and from Brahma came Atri, a sage, and then from the tears of Atri, Soma, the moon deity, was born. And so he, out of his arrogance, what he did, he went and abducted Brihaspati's wife Tara. And in spite of Brihaspati's repeated requests to him for the release of Tara, Soma heeded not, out of his pride and infatuation. As a sequel, a fierce war broke out between the Devas and the Asuras. Owing to his enmity towards Brihaspati, that is the king, the guru of the gods, Shukra, who is the guru of the Asuras, the demons, the preceptor of the Asuras, took the side of Soma, the moon deity, along with his Asura following. And Rudra, because of his love for his own preceptor Angiras, whose son Brihaspati was, took the side of the latter along with his host of spirits and elements. So it was Lord Shiva, they're talking about Lord Shiva, who took the side of Brihaspati, and so everybody is taking their different sides. And Indra joined the side of his preceptor Brihaspati. So Brihaspati, as I was saying, was the guru of the gods, the Devas. And thus, on account of Tara, arose a war between Devas and Asuras, highly destructive to both sides. And so the war went on between the Asuras and the Devas. And now, these are the chapters 8 to 14. And requested by the sage Angiras, Brahma reprimanded Soma and made him restore Tara to Brihaspati. But Brihaspati found her big with child. Thereupon Brihaspati said, "O evil one, throw out the fetus planted by others in your womb, which is my field. Do not, however, be afraid that I shall reduce you to ashes, my good lady, for I am myself most eager for an issue." So, he realized that Tara was pregnant, and Brihaspati said to throw out the child, get rid of the child. And Tara thereupon bashfully ejected the fetus, which turned out to be a boy luminous like gold. Both Brihaspati and Soma developed in that infant. While Brihaspati and Soma were disputing about the ownership of the child, the Devas and the Rishis asked Tara to declare whose it was. She only remained silent bashfully. As the child became angry and said to his mother, "O evil woman, why do you cover up your sin with false bashfulness? Speak out." And Brahma thereupon consoled her with gentle words and questioned her in privacy. She reluctantly admitted that Soma was the father of the child. So Soma took possession of that child. O King Brahma named him Buddha. Buddha is Mercury. Soma, the king of stars, was rejoiced to find him highly intelligent. That's why he became very intelligent. So this is the story. And so there is a lot of connotation in this astrologically. So if you want to think about it, it is, there are so many secrets of astrology hidden in this, which I cannot fathom. Also, don't want to go into that direction. So this is moon deity. Moon deity is abducting the wife of the guru of the Devas. And so then they have a child, that is Buddha, who's highly intelligent. So you can just think about the associations, and from there it can be interpreted astrologically. And here what we are coming back is Pururuvas was born as the son of Buddha, that is by Ila. And hearing from Narada about the form, virtues, wealth, courage, and the other attractive features of Pururuvas, the heavenly beauty Urvashi fell in love with him and approached him. And owing to the curse by Mitra and Varuna, Urvashi was consigned to earth. And hearing about Pururuvas, who was in beauty like Cupid embodied, Urvashi mustered courage to appear before him. And that king was delighted to see her, and with eyes wide open and horripilations all over, he spoke to her softly. "Welcome to you, O beauty. Please be seated. What can I do for you? Enjoy life with me for long years to come." And Urvashi replied, "O handsome one, there is no woman whose eyes and mind would not get stuck to you. Desirous of the delight of your embrace, my mind and my eyes refuse to part from your limbs. I shall enjoy life with you, O king, who has done me this honor. Protect like a treasure these two rams of mine, and I entrust to you. I shall certainly enjoy life with one like you, for on a praiseworthy men fall the choice of women. I should be fed with ghee, which forms my diet. I should also never see you naked, except at the time of intimacy." And Pururuvas, intelligent as he was, agreed to these conditions. He said, "Oh, what a form, what a form, what a loving demeanor. All the world would get infatuated by it. Where is the man that will not oblige a woman of this kind who has approached him?" And Pururuvas now spent time with Urvashi, and inebriated with the sweet flavor of Urvashi, he sported for long years with her, and that they lived for a long time together. And remember, Urvashi was a celestial being, and she was cursed, and that's why she had to come to earth. And she also had this pair of rams, and the other one was also, the other condition was he should not be seen naked in front of her. And now Indra failing to see Urvashi any longer in the heavenly region, felt that heaven was not worth living in without her, and dispatched, his agents, Gandharvas, to bring her back. And at the dead of night, when it was pitch dark, the Gandharvas stole away the pair of rams entrusted to the king by Urvashi. And when she heard the bleating of the rams, as they were being led away, Urvashi, who loved them as her children, cried out in alarm, "Oh, I am lost. This husband of mine has failed me. A worthless fellow, he pretends to be a hero. On account of the faith I put in him, I have undone. And the rams which are to me like my own children are being taken away by thieves. It looks like that night he lies in a place like a frightened woman, only during daytime he is a man. And like an elephant assailed with a goad, Pururvas felt hit by these verbal arrows, and without caring even to dress himself, rushed out naked in the night, sword in hand, in a mood of extreme anger. The Gandharvas left the rams there and illumined the place with lightning. And now Urvashi saw her husband with the rams. On returning, Pururvas did not find his wife in the bed. He became dejected with sorrow, was grief-stricken, and was lost in the thought of her. He searched for her all the world over like a demented man. Pururvas discovered her at last at Kurukshetra beside the Saraswati river with 5 of her friends. He thereupon said to her, appealing, "O dear one, stop, stop. O angry one, you cannot go away from here without me. Let us chat for a while. O lady, this body without you, which you have attracted to this distance, will now fall down dead and become food for wolves and vultures." Urvashi said, "Don't die, please. Are you not a powerful man? Allow not these wolves of women to eat you up. Women, like wolves, have no enduring friendship or kindness. Women are pitiless, cruel, impatient, and ready to risk anything to gain what they have set their hearts on. Even for petty ends, they may murder a husband or a brother who had put trust in them. And pretending to be very faithful to these who have not seen through their deceit, they go about freely in quest of newer and newer lovers. And at the end of each year, my Lord, you can spend a night with me, and you will have another issue besides the one I am now bearing." So, saying this, Urvashi goes away from Pururvas. And so she was having one child from Pururvas. So again, this is not, you can say it's not demeaning women. When she says all these things, men also do the same thing to women. But you have to understand, this is the nature of the world. One day or the other, these relationships will not last. So you have to understand that ultimately, we have to leave one another, even if until the very end, just like some of the marriages in India now, they leave, the husband and the wife leaves till the end together. But even at the end, what happens is the death comes. So you have to ultimately understand that, and then you have to separate. So this is the nature of the world, and she's describing the nature of the world. So she's saying, don't get too much infatuated. And so, seeing Urvashi expectant, Pururvas returned to his city. 1 year after, he returned to Kurukshetra and was delighted to see Urvashi come back to him with a splendid child. He lived with her that night, finding him extremely grief-stricken at the prospect of separation from her. Urvashi said as follows to the pitiable king, "Seek to propitiate the Gandharvas. They will give me to you. On king extolling them, the Gandharvas were pleased, and they gave him a fire pot wherein he could keep the fire for performing the ritual for obtaining Urvashi. He traveled with it in his hand, identifying it with Urvashi, but soon realized it was only a fire pot. He then kept that fire pot in the forest and went home. Every night he spent meditating on her. In his mind, so meditating, the three Vedas dealing with rituals dawned at the start of the Treta Yuga. And he now went to place where he had kept the fire pot and saw nearby an Ashwadha tree growing as a graft from the bottom of a Sami tree. Desirous of attaining to the realms of Urvashi, he made 2 fire sticks with that tree for lighting the sacrificial fire. Meditating on the lower fire stick as Urvashi, on the upper one as himself, and on a piece of wood kept between as their son to be born, he rubbed the sticks to the accompaniment of proper mantras. And from this rubbing of the fire sticks came the sacrificial fire, or Jada Veda, called so because it helps one gain heavenly enjoyments. It became the threefold fire of Ahavaniya and Garhabhatya and Dakshina by the power of meditation prescribed in the Veda. The Raja adopted the fire as his son. In that fire, he offered sacrifice to Hari, the embodiment of all deities, the all-powerful and the all-sense-transcending one desiring the realm of Urvashi. And in the Krita Yuga, the Pranava, Om, which includes in it every possible sound, alone was the Veda. And the deity too was one only, and that was Narayana. So also Agni, or sacred fire, and the Varna, or human community, were all single. It was only in the beginning of Treta Yuga, only that the one Veda became 3 by the action of Pururvas. With the help of Agni, his son, he attained the world of Gandharvas. So, this is the whole crux of it. So, in the Treta Yuga, Treta Yuga, that is Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, and so what happened was there was only one deity. Everything was one. And they worshipped only Om. That's what they're saying. They worshipped only Om. There was no duality. And of course, Om was also beyond form. They had formless worship at that time. And Pururvas created these 3 different fires. And because of his desire to be with Urvashi. And so, he, with the help of Agni, that is fire, with his son, so that he will attain to the world of Gandharvas. So this is what happened then. And so we have to understand this from also an allegorical point of view, that one is about desire, right? And when we have desires, and of course in the Vedas it's explained how to fulfill your desires by chanting all these mantras. And if we do not fulfill the desires, and of course these desires remain in our minds, and it is said that you have to take birth to fulfill these desires and come back again. And if you understand that these desires are not going to give you permanent happiness. For example, in the case of Pururvas, he went to Urvashi, stayed there for some time, and then he had to come back. And when he comes back, then he realizes this is the extent of ananda, or the happiness that you can get. Then only they will start seeking self-knowledge. The modern example is like the people in the West. They, I would say, the people who go to India seeking for spiritual knowledge, why do they go there? Because they have tried everything here in the West, which would give them all sorts of pleasures, and found that those are all limited. And there is no use. And they cannot go any further. So then they hear about this spirituality in India, in the East. And that's why they go to India or to East in search of this, not only knowledge, but it's also the permanent happiness. Where can they get permanent happiness? Which will not fade away. And thus by going there, they realize that this is what is true happiness is. So all these stories are just to illustrate the fact that you can attain to heaven, you can attain to any amount of pleasures, but these pleasures will not give you permanent happiness. If you want to have permanent happiness, you have to seek within and find it inside of yourself, not outside. It does not rest in objects, it does not rest in things. And in people, on relationships. That's what the whole story illustrates. When you have these things, they are all temporary. They might give you pleasure for some time. And you cannot say happiness even. It's called pleasure. And then what happens? You buy one, get one free, which is pain. Soon pain follows. And then when you chase after this, after some time you get pain. And that's what happened to Pururvas. He wanted to be with Urvashi, and then sometime later she just left him. And he was just completely devastated after some time. So, if one wants that permanent happiness, one has to seek the Guru. One has to get that self-knowledge from the Guru, and by getting that self-knowledge of his own self. So what does Guru teach? Guru is teaching that you look within. Don't search outside. And if you search outside, it's not going to happen. You're not going to get it. So look within, search within yourself, and get that knowledge, and become illumined with that knowledge of your own self. And you realize that what you were searching was not outside. It is within yourself only. So it is this knowledge that the Guru imparts to the disciple, and telling the disciple. And we know, one of the beautiful verses that Amma always sings of Lord Shankaracharya. Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. That is, I'm not manas. Manas means the mind. I'm not buddhi, the intellect. Chittam, that is the mind stuff. Ahankaram, ego. Nacha shrotra jihve, najagrhana netre. I'm not the ears, I'm not the eyes, I'm not the tongue. Who am I? Chidananda swarupa shivoham shivoham. That I am indeed pure, the pure embodiment of Lord Shiva. This poem was composed by Lord Shankara when his guru asked him this question, who are you? Just imagine. Just ask him this question, who are you? So then he just spontaneously started saying this. So he was such an advanced disciple. And it was just discipleship was to accept the fact that you need a guru. Because if he had not accepted guru, and he just would have done it by himself, people will follow that example. So you might ask this question about Amma. Amma always also refers to Damayanti Amma as her guru. even though Amma did not have a guru. Avatars don't need gurus in that sense. Avatars, they can. They can of course have it, like Lord Krishna had it, Lord Rama had it. And Amma attributes, her guru is Damayanti Amma. So when we see the guru, the guru invokes the self within the disciple only. So that where he starts searching within himself rather than searching in objects and relationships outside. And this is what is illustrated through these stories. So may Amma give us the strength to look within and find our true selves. Om Amriteshwari Namah.
Japa japa amma amma amba nama japure.
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 Ishta nama satya nama mukti 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 nama japure.
Japa japa amma amma amba nama japure.
Japa japa amma amma amba nama japure.
Amritapureshwari Jagadamba Japure.
Amritapureshwari Jagadamba Japure.
Amritapureshwari Jagadamba Japure.
Amritapureshwari Jagadamba Japure.
Ishtanama Satyanama Muktinama Japure.
Ishtanama Satyanama Muktinama Japure.
Ishtanama सत्य नाम मुक्ति नाम जप रे।
नाम सत्य नाम मुक्ति नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्मा अम्मा अम्बा नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्मा अम्मा अम्बा नाम जप रे।
सद्गुरु जगद्गुरु जगदम्बा 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 जप रे।
इष्ट नाम सत्य नाम मुक्ति नाम 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 जप रे।
अम्ब नाम कर्म नाम योग नाम जप रे।
अम्ब नाम कर्म नाम योग नाम जप रे।
अम्ब नाम भक्ति नाम मुक्ति नाम जप रे।
अम्ब नाम भक्ति नाम मुक्ति नाम जप रे।
इष्ट नाम सत्य नाम मुक्ति नाम जप रे।
इष्ट नाम सत्य नाम मुक्ति नाम जप रे।
अम्ब नाम ब्रह्म नाम दिव्य 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 नाम जप रे।
इष्ट नाम सत्य नाम मुक्ति 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 नाम जप रे।
जपो जपो अम्मा अम्मा अम्बा नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्बा 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 नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्मा अम्मा अम्बा नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्बा 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 नाम जप रे।
इष्ट नाम सत्य नाम मुक्ति 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 नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्मा अम्मा अम्बा नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्बा 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 नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्मा अम्मा अम्बा नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्बा 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 नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्मा अम्मा अम्बा नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्बा 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 नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्मा अम्मा अम्बा नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्बा 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 नाम जप रे।
जप अम्मा अम्मा अम्बा नाम जप रे।
जप जप अम्बा 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 नाम जप रे।
जय 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 गणनायका, जय जय विघ्न विनाशका,
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 जय शुभमङ्गलदायका, विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका,
जय शुभमङ्गलदायका, विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका,
जय शुभमङ्गलदायका, विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका,
जय शुभमङ्गलदायका, विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका,
जय 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 गणनायका, जय जय विघ्न विनाशका, जय शुभमङ्गलदायका,
विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका,
गजवदना गौरीनन्दन,
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 गङ्गाधर शिव शम्भो नन्दन,
गङ्गाधर शिव शम्भो नन्दन,
गङ्गाधर शिव शम्भो नन्दन,
गङ्गाधर शिव शम्भो नन्दन,
जय 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 गणनायका, जय जय विघ्न विनाशका,
जय 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 गणनायका, जय जय विघ्न विनाशका,
जय शुभमङ्गलदायका, विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका,
जय शुभमङ्गलदायका, विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका,
जय 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 गणनायका, जय जय विघ्न विनाशका,
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 गजवदना गौरीनन्दन,
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 गङ्गाधर शिव शम्भो नन्दन,
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 जय 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 गणनायका, जय जय विघ्न विनाशका। केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
श्रीधर ऋषिकेश पद्मनाभ दामोदर
श्रीधर ऋषिकेश पद्मनाभ दामोदर
श्रीधर ऋषिकेश पद्मनाभ दामोदर
श्रीधर ऋषिकेश पद्मनाभ दामोदर
संघर्षण वासुदेव प्रद्युम्न निरुद्ध
संघर्षण वासुदेव प्रद्युम्न निरुद्ध
संघर्षण वासुदेव प्रद्युम्न निरुद्ध
संघर्षण वासुदेव प्रद्युम्न निरुद्ध
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
पुरुषोत्तम अधोक्षजा नारसिंहाच्युता
पुरुषोत्तम अधोक्षजा नारसिंहाच्युता
पुरुषोत्तम अधोक्षजा नारसिंहाच्युता
पुरुषोत्तम अधोक्षजा नारसिंहाच्युता
जनार्दना जनार्दना उपेन्द्र हरि श्री कृष्ण
जनार्दन उपेन्द्र हरे श्री कृष्ण
जनार्दना उपेन्द्र हरि श्री कृष्ण
जनार्दन उपेन्द्र हरे श्री कृष्ण
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 केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
विष्णु मधुसूदन त्रिविक्रम वामन
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद
श्रीधर ऋषिकेश पद्मनाभ दामोदर
श्रीधर ऋषिकेश पद्मनाभ दामोदर
श्रीधर ऋषिकेश पद्मनाभ दामोदर
श्रीधर ऋषिकेश पद्मनाभ दामोदर
पुरुषोत्तम अधोक्षजा नारसिंहाच्युता पुरुषोत्तम अधोक्षजा नारसिंहाच्युता जनार्दना उपेन्द्र हरे श्री कृष्ण
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 केशव नारायण माधव गोविंद जय जगदम्बे दुर्गे माँ जय मनमोहिनी भद्रे माँ
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 जन्म विनाशिनी जय जय माँ जगदोद्धारिणी श्रीकरी 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 माँ
जय माँ जय माँ जय माँ जय जय माँ
जय माँ जय माँ जय माँ जय जय माँ
जय माँ जय माँ जय माँ जय जय माँ विष्णु विलासिनी लक्ष्मी माँ विश्व विमोहिनी पार्वती माँ
विष्णु विलासिनी लक्ष्मी माँ विश्व विमोहिनी पार्वती माँ
विष्णु विलासिनी लक्ष्मी माँ विश्व विमोहिनी पार्वती माँ
विष्णु विलासिनी लक्ष्मी माँ विश्व विमोहिनी पार्वती माँ
सुहासिनी जय जय माँ।
विद्यादायिनी सरस्वती माँ, विमल सुहासिनी जय जय माँ।
विद्यादायिनी सरस्वती माँ, विमल सुहासिनी जय जय माँ।
विद्यादायिनी सरस्वती माँ, विमल सुहासिनी जय जय माँ।
जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ।
जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ।
जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। कामिददायिनी देवी माँ, काम विनाशिनी काली माँ।
कामिददायिनी देवी माँ, काम विनाशिनी काली माँ।
कामिददायिनी देवी माँ, काम विनाशिनी काली माँ।
कामिददायिनी देवी माँ, काम विनाशिनी काली माँ।
कालस्वरूपिणी भैरवी माँ, करुणामयी अमृतेश्वरी 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 माँ।
जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ।
जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ।
जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ। जय माँ, जय माँ, जय माँ, जय जय माँ।
अमृतेश्वरी मङ्गलम् प्रणमदा मुक्तिप्रदे मङ्गलम् भुवनेश्वरी मङ्गलम् सुकृतिना एकाश्रये मङ्गलम् अमृतेश्वरी मङ्गलम् प्रणमदा मुक्तिप्रदे मङ्गलम् भुवनेश्वरी मङ्गलम् सुकृतिना एकाश्रये मङ्गलम् हृदयेश्वरी मङ्गलम् हृदिलसत्तेजोर्मयी मङ्गलम् मृदुभाषिणी मङ्गलम् विजयदा प्रेमाहृदे मङ्गलम् विजयदा प्रेमाहृदे मङ्गलम् विजयदा प्रेमाहृदे मङ्गलम् जय जगजननी वन्दे अमृतानन्दमयी मङ्गलहारिणी माधववाणी अमृतानन्दमयी माता सुखदायिनी माता अमृतानन्दमयी मङ्गलकारिणी वन्दे जननी अमृतानन्दमयी माता सकलागम निगमादिषु चरिते अमृतानन्दमयी निखिलमयहर जननी वन्दे अमृतानन्दमयी माता वशिनी मादा अमृतानंदमयी प्रेम भक्ति संदायिनी मादा अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी मदमदायिनी मनलयकारिणी अमृतानंदमयी सददं मम हृदि वसदा देवी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी पतितोद्धार निरंतर हृदये अमृतानंदमयी परमहंस पद निलये देवी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी हे जननी जनि मरण निवारिणी अमृतानंदमयी हे श्रुत जन परिपालिनी जयदा अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी सुरजन पूजित जय जगदम्बा अमृतानंदमयी सहज समाधिषु धन्ये देवी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी ओम जय जय जगजननी वंदे अमृतानंदमयी मंगल आरती माता भवानी अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी माता अमृतानंदमयी जय बोलो सद्गुरु माता अमृतानंदमयी देवी की असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम शांति 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 ओम लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांति 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 ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः